What's going on? This is Dylan, and I just want to show you real quick. If you watch our podcast or listen to our podcast, Music and Mascara in the Car, by now you'll probably have heard that I told you I was going to make this video about our computer, my personal computer changes in the last few weeks. It's actually kind of been happening over like a year because the main thing that happened about a year ago is I made the move with two things. From a Panasonic G85, which is a micro four thirds camera, to a Sony product, which is what I'm shooting on now. That made my file size and my video editing load a lot bigger. The photos are better, the still photos are better, the picture quality is better, but it just made the entire video editing load rise higher. I also made the move Final Cut Pro, because I've been on a Mac since 2006, 2008, somewhere in that neighborhood. So I've been Apple guy. I've had every iPhone there ever was up until the 10. Fix them for a living. I mean, I was diehard Apple guy. However, when I made the move to Adobe Premiere from Final Cut, that meant that the processor needs changed, the computer needs changed, the type of hardware that you need to get the job done with Premiere changed, and it basically meant that I needed to go to a Windows machine with NVIDIA graphics. And so I built a desktop. Killer. We'll put a link to my kit.com link in the description of this video so you can see all the stuff that I have in that computer. It is unbelievable, and that's what I've been using for all the video editing now since I had it built, like earlier this year, and it's been unbelievable. That means that I was running with half Mac and half Windows, which is totally fine. I had no problem with doing that. But the problem is that working on the road, having one of each, and being able to manage files, one of the things that happened is I had to offloading my files from my camera to here, and then moving them to a PC is really difficult unless you have like a particular piece of software that does it and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, I need to get a PC laptop. Then I started all the searching, and I was like, well, I'm going to get a PC video editing laptop so I can edit video while I'm on the road. Well, then that turns into 15-inch discrete graphics card, $1,500 to $2,000. 2,500 bucks, whatever, which is in Macbook money again. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't actually even edit video on the road. Now I edit photography, still photography on the road a lot to keep our Instagram up and all that kind of stuff, but I don't do a lot of editing video on the road until I get home. All I need to do is like manage files and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, with one of these, now it's tiny. Now I don't have to carry two backpacks. Now I can just have a camera bag. This can fit in there with a little hard drive. I can manage all my footage. When I get home, I can do all my editing. And Adobe Rush came out, so it's like the iMovie of Adobe, and it's like a little stripped down version. And hey, now I can edit some video, like do some basic cuts and do some stuff and keep some basic videos going while we're on the road. And it's a touchscreen with a pen, so now I'm starting to use Adobe Lightroom, and I'm using Photoshop to make thumbnails, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is like unbelievable, because I will tell you, I literally bought this on an early Black Friday thing with the intention of seeing if I liked it or not, and then returning it on Black Friday and getting something else if I didn't. I was literally going to get one of these again if I didn't. I've been loving it. I've been absolutely loving it. Is it the computer that one of these is? No, this is actually a better spec than this, but it suits my needs. And I think that's one of the things that people get super hung up on this computer thing is, well, you're a video creator, so you must need Mac and Apple everything. Man, in 2005, yeah, for sure. But in 2020, we're going to call it 2020 because it's like in a couple weeks. By the time you see this video, it might be 2020. It's not the same thing anymore, man. It's not the same thing anymore. And there's actually a USB-C and actually a USB-A right here. I mean, I don't need a dongle 99% of the time. It's unbelievable. The touch pad is actually really good. The touch screen is really good. Now, coming from Apple, that's a lot for me to say because iPads rule that. The pen is actually really good. I've been super impressed with it so far. And this is not the big fancy one. I think I only paid like 1,100 bucks for this thing. I'll put a link to what I bought in the description below because I can't remember exactly all the specs right now. But this thing is unbelievable. So anyway, I just want to share that with y'all. Kind of the little thought process behind it. And what I would say for all of you that are getting into this stuff is if you have an iPhone or if you have a GoPro or if you have something like that, you don't need, and you're just doing videos and live video and you really want to get into doing this stuff, you don't need to go spend $2,000 on a computer. You don't need to go spend $2,000 on a camera. You know, your old GoPro that you already have, your cell phone that you already have, and a little tablet like this. I mean, it runs full Windows 10, so that's unbelievable. It's not apps like iPad is. It's actually full Windows 10, so I really, really dig that. That was the other thing. That's why I didn't get an iPad Pro. That being said, I still have another one of these. We literally have 2 of these. So if I need a MacBook Pro, I have a 2015 MacBook Pro in there in a drawer. I also have Leslie's 2019 MacBook Pro that she just got. We also have a MacBook. We also have an iPad Air. We have an iPad Pro. We have an iPad Mini. We have her iPhone 10s, 10, whatever the latest iPhone, 11 Plus, whatever the latest iPhone is. So if we need to do some cross-platform testing, we can do all that stuff. She's an Apple chick, so she still has a watch and everything. So, I mean, we're still cross-platform, but for my particular workflow, it all ends up being on a Windows machine. It's kind of fun. So we have a little everything around here. I actually sold this to a friend of mine, and I'm shipping it out today. Thanks for hanging out. I just want to share that with you. If you have any questions about it, if you want to have a conversation about it, be nice. You know, people get really like on the either side of this fence and then get angry about it. Be nice in the comments, but have a cool conversation about why you like what you like, and let me know. Maybe we'll chat about it. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you soon.